Welcome to our A-Level PE video. In this video we'll be stating the movement, giving a short definition of it and the type of examples of joints that allow the movement to occur.
Alright, so firstly we have flexion, a movement decreasing the angle between the articulating bones. A good sporting example of this is during boxing, a jab. So in the preparation phase, the boxer has his arm flexed, as you can see, and in the execution phase the arm is extended outwards.
Extension is a movement increasing the angle between articulating bones. Another example in boxing again would be you're extending your arm in a jab.
The next movement is hyperextension. Hyperextension is an increase in the angle between the articulating bones to take a body part or limb beyond its normal range. A sporting example of this would be a kick in football. In the follow through of the kick, the angle between articulating bones increase from what it usually is, and the types of synovial joints that allow this movement to occur is don't worry about that.
Next is abduction. It's a movement away from the midline of the body. So when you're doing swimming, it's the butterfly movement. That's moving away from the midline of the body.
Right, the next one is circumduction, a conical movement of the limb extending from the joint or the shoulder or the hip. This is, for example, in cricket, in the execution phase, where the bowler is just about to let go of the ball, his arm is on a full rotation.
Adduction is a movement towards the midline of the body. An example of this would be rowing, for example. Yep.
Alright. Abduction. Rotation is a movement in which something, e.g. a bone or a whole limb, pivots or revolves around a single long axis, and the type of joints that allow this movement is ball and socket and a pivot. Alright, for example, sporting situation for this will be bowling. As you can see, rotating, the angle is 100%, 360 rotating.
Okay. Next, elevation is the upward movement of structures of the body. For example, elevations of the shoulder joint raises the corresponding arm vertically upwards. So, do you want to give an example?
Sure.
So, in basketball, when you're about to shoot, it's the shrug of the shoulders, it's getting up there. That's it, lovely.
Alright, the next one is depression, the downward movement of the structures of the body. This has no specific sporting example, but an example is like when you're dropping your jaw, like.
The next movement is protraction. It's the movement of a body part in the anterior direction. It's like, for example, crossing arms, but we do not have a sporting example for this.
Alright, the next movement is retraction, and retraction is the movement of a body part in a posterior direction. For example, backwards. Also, the movement of the protracted body part back to the anatomical position. And sporting example of retraction would be on crossing the arm.
Okay. Next is aversion, a movement in which the plantar surface of the foot rotates away from the midline of the body. Another way to describe this movement is to say that the plantar surface, sole of the foot, turns laterally, which means turns outwards. An example of this would be pike.
The next one is inversion, a movement in which the plantar surface of the foot rotates towards the midline. So this example of this would be in trampolining. So when the you gotta do this jump. Doing.
The toes going down.
So my toes are pointing now.
Yeah,
Right, dorsiflexion is backward flexion basically, so it's like bending. We as of the hands or foot, for example, flexion of the foot or the ankle means rotating, like the toes are bent backwards. There is no sporting example for this.
Alright, the next movement is plantar flexion. And this is the forward flexion or bending of the hand or foot. For example, flexion of the ankle or foot means rotating this toe downwards, away from the leg to which the ankle and foot is attached. A sporting example of where we would be using plantar flexion is in football.
Next is pronation, which is mostly mixed up with supination. And a good way to remember this would be
More soup, please.
in
More
Oliver,
soup, sir.
that's going to be
Please.
supination, and the other way around is pronation. So that's an example would be in swimming when you got to bring your arm and you got to keep doing this. So you're keeping your forearms and wrists down to the floor. Next,
Supination is a movement that can occur in different ways at the lower arm and wrist. It also works with the foot and the ankle.
Do you want to give an example?
in
uh,
cricket,
In cricket,
when you're catching a ball.
exactly when you're say the ball's coming at you from a high thing, you gotta catch it like that.
As long as it's not crocodile, it's got to be.
You can't do the crocodile. Mate. If it's crocodile, it's like
It's
that.
supination, you got to keep it at a bowl.
Because it's supination, you want more soup, sir.